By now, everybody's heard about the Kentucky sheriff who shot the judge in his chamber. The question is, why did he do it? And everybody, every news outlet, New York Times, the Courier Journal, CNN, WKYT, which is a local affiliate, CBS, everybody's tight-lipped about why it happened. So we know what happened. The question is, why did it happen? And there are rumors that are swirling around. We're going to deal with those rumors in this short video right here. But Letcher County, Kentucky Sheriff Mickey Steins is accused of shooting District Judge Kevin Mullins in his office. We're going to go over some of these reports. We're going to take a look at some of the statements that were made. We're going to talk about this guy. This is former Deputy Ben Fields. What happened to him? Who fired him? What was the situation surrounding his firing? Let's go ahead and go with this first statement right here by Kentucky Trooper Gayhart.
A preliminary investigation indicated that Letcher County Sheriff Mickey Sean Steins fired at District Judge Kevin Mullins following an argument inside the courthouse.
Now, everybody's reporting on that there's an argument, but nobody's talking about what the substance of the argument was about. And it seems like it would be very important to get this information out, because you're not talking about a deputy who shot a district judge. You're talking about the sheriff of that county shooting the judge. Why did he shoot him? Everybody knows there was an argument. They don't know what the argument was about. The cops who are investigating don't know what the argument was about. I think everybody who's writing these articles and every investigator that's on this case knows what the argument's about, but nobody's releasing it for some reason. The Courier Journal does tip us off a little bit. It says, Kentucky judge shooting stuns Letcher County. Who is Sheriff Mickey Steins? Who is Kevin Mullins? Kentucky State Police is continuing its investigation after Letcher County District Judge was allegedly shot and killed. This has already been confirmed. Letcher County Sheriff Mickey Steins has been arrested and charged with first-degree murder in connection to the shooting Thursday at Letcher County Courthouse in Whitesburg. Officials said. Agency spokesperson Matt Gayhart, who we just heard from, said in a news release that Post 13 and Hazard received reports around 2:55 p.m. that shots were fired inside the courthouse. Multiple first response agencies arrived at the scene and found District Judge Kevin Mullins, who's 54 years old, of Jackhorn, had suffered multiple gunshot wounds. He was pronounced dead on the scene by Letcher County's coroner's office. Investigators determined that the shooting transpired after an argument between Steins and Mullins, according to Gayhart. Steins was taken into custody shortly after without incident. Now, here are some details that CNN and ABC and CBS aren't dealing with. The Mountain Eagle, a local newspaper in Whitesburg, reported Steins walked into the judge's outer office and told court employees that he needed to talk to Mullins alone. So we at least know there were court employees in the outer office before Steins walked into Mullins' inner chamber. Possibly those people could have heard what the argument was about, and I'm thinking they probably did. The pair entered the inner office, closed the door, and shots rang out shortly after, according to the reports. Steins then walked out of the room with his hands raised and turned himself over to police. Governor Andy Beshear confirmed on social media that a district judge in Letcher County was killed in a shooting. Mullins was appointed in 2009 by former Governor Steve Beshear. He was also an advocate for programs that diverted people with substance abuse disorder toward treatment rather than detention, and that's going to come into play here in a second with another piece of information we have, which is just rumor at this point. He championed a program in Letcher County that allowed people facing behavioral health issues to have charges dropped in exchange for successful completion of a treatment program. According to the guy at the treatment program, the whole community grew together with Judge Mullins to make it more accessible for people to succeed in recovery. He says he realized the community had a problem. He got everybody together and said, let's fix the problem. Let's not try to hide it. Let's try to fix it. Now, apparently, Sheriff Steins was formerly a bailiff for Letcher County District Court prior to being elected sheriff in 2018. Check this out, and we're going to delve into this deeper. In a 2022 lawsuit filed in U.S. District Court alleging a Letcher County deputy sheriff offered favorable treatment for sexual favors, Steins was listed as a defendant for, quote, allegedly failing to properly train the deputy sheriff. The suit says the abuse occurred in the chamber of Mullins. You don't say, but does not say if he was aware of it or allege he was involved in any wrongdoing. The suit also alleged that Steins did not reasonably respond to reports or suspicions. Steins went on to fire the deputy sheriff for conduct unbecoming. And that leads us to this article right here. A Letcher County deputy sheriff accused in a federal lawsuit of making an intimate trade sexual favors to get home incarceration has been fired. In a suit filed January 31st, Sabrina Atkins alleged that when she couldn't afford to pay for home detention, Deputy Ben Fields, remember that guy's name, told her that she would receive favorable treatment for sexual favors, then met her 6 times late at night last year in a district judge's chambers, that's Mullins chambers, where he forced her to have oral sex and sexual intercourse. Letcher County Sheriff Sean Mickey Steins fired Fields February 2nd for conduct unbecoming, according to a letter provided to the Courier-Journal under the Kentucky Open Records Act. Stein said he consulted with Letcher County Attorney James Hatton before terminating Fields. The Courier-Journal previously reported that Atkins said in her suit that she was coerced and compelled to comply with Fields' advances given his position and power, and because she could not afford to pay for the ankle monitor and did not want to return to Letcher County Jail. Fields did not reply to a message left at the sheriff's department. The lawsuit alleges text messages exist proving Fields had inappropriate contact with Atkins. Turns out former Deputy Ben Fields, who supposedly had sexual relations with this lady to reduce her sentencing, was involved in another viral moment back in 2015. In this news article from February 6, 2017, it says law enforcement career on hold, ex-deputy Ben Fields, that's the same guy, looks to the future. Check this out.
While the sheriff has asked people to avoid the rush to judgment, many people are already reacting. Some have words, others say they're lost for them.
Now, keep in mind, this is the same Ben Fields. It appears this is the same Ben Fields who is telling people that, hey, if you have sex with me in Judge Mullins' chamber, we're going to reduce your sentencing. That's the same guy.
Officials say the video seems to show a Richland County Sheriff's Department school resource officer grab a female student at Spring Valley High School, slam her to the floor, and drag her to the front of the class before arresting the high schooler.
So that's what Deputy Ben Fields is known for. That's his claim to fame. Incidentally, in this article, Ben Fields says that he can understand why people thought his actions may have been harsh. He said, quote, "Well, I think on the outside looking in, I can understand why people would say that. I think that people saying it doesn't look good or saying it looks harsh, I respect what they're saying, but this job can be hard sometimes, and it can be difficult, and we have to make difficult decisions. When someone chooses to fight the police, when someone chooses not to comply, things usually aren't going to look very good." So a lot of people are saying this has to do with sexual favors going on inside of Mullins' courtroom, Judge Mullins' courtroom. Let me just read this to you. Again, this is all rumor. This is conjecture. There's no facts that have been brought to bear yet, but this person says, "I'd do some more research on this before you assume it's fact, but I heard that Mickey killed the judge, because Kevin was messing around," Kevin is the judge, "with his 17-year-old daughter." Now, I heard a rumor from another post over on X, but again, this is not substantiated, that at first he confronted him with evidence and was going to arrest him, and that Kevin went to pull a gun, and that's why Mickey fired 5 to 6 shots in him. Also heard that there's some crazy dirt that's all going to come out in this trial, and that Mickey had more on Kevin than just his daughter. That's why Kevin, the judge, pulled a gun on Mickey or tried to reach for Mickey's gun. The bottom line for me is that it seems strange with all these people from reputable sources writing all these articles, the investigations going on, that nobody's coming forward on the nature of the argument between Steins and Judge Mullins. What do you think? Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the global thought police in the comments section below. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell notification icon. Give it a thumbs up. Share it with everybody you know. Don't forget to subscribe to my email list through my website, highimpactflix.com. If you want to support the channel further, grab a shirt, become a channel member, but more importantly, understand that in times of universal deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act. I'll see you in the next video.